Bonjour, bonsoir et bienvenue à Rendez-Vous. Today we feature a very unusual Franco Sri Lankan cooperation. We're sharing knowledge on arbitration with the renowned University of Paris II Panthéon-Assas.
This is a very significant event for the history of Sri Lanka at the milestone where the Sri Lanka Law College is actually marking its 150th anniversary last year. University of Paris Panthéon is one of the prestigious universities in the world where they impart knowledge on international law, and especially Professor Malik Laazousi, who is representing this event today, is a world authority on the arena on international arbitration and ADR. So he is here physically to address the gathering, and there are two other gentlemen who are coming from Paris and London respectively, representing international law firms who are engaged in arbitration and arbitration related consulting areas. I think this is a unique event, a unique opportunity for Sri Lankan students to indulge in a very positive discussion about ADR, that is alternative dispute resolution, and international arbitration, and how it happens in other parts of the world like Paris and in London.
Sri Lankan practitioners are the best place to handle cases about the protection of Sri Lankan investments in France or the protection of French investment in Sri Lanka. So based on the treaty and under international law, they have their place in this field. So for law students interested in investment arbitration, of course, this BIT, this international treaty, is a must to be known. And this, of course, also expands to international commercial arbitration, especially in the bilateral relationship between French companies and Sri Lankan companies. Law students in Sri Lanka having an interest in international arbitration, of course, if they're well trained and if they start their apprenticeship in law firms specializing in arbitration, they could develop a career in international arbitration.
My advice to Sri Lankan law students is that they have to work incredibly hard at two things. First of all, to become really good lawyers, which there's no way to get around. You just have to work very hard. You have to work hard at knowing the law, at being able to marshal facts, and being able to become, if you're doing advocacy as I do, a really, really good advocate, someone who is able to persuade tribunals really effectively. But in addition to that, today, it has become increasingly important to be able to sell your skills. You have to be good at using LinkedIn and whatever other tools there are in order to get across to the world at large what a good lawyer you are. You need to do both of those things, and you need to start doing it as soon as possible. I wish you the very best of luck.
Well, there are lots of reasons that Colombo and Sri Lanka generally is an excellent place to do arbitration. It's got an arbitration-friendly law, it's got an experienced judiciary, has amazing arbitration facilities, and of course it's a great place to visit as well. So far as arbitration appointments are concerned, it's worth remembering there are very many different ways that arbitrators can be appointed. One of them is by the arbitration body, or sometimes by the national committee of the arbitration body, but also sometimes and quite often by the parties as well. So parties, if they were to appoint foreign arbitrators, it gives foreign arbitrators a chance to come and see what a wonderful place Colombo is to do arbitration. And of course, it encouraged reciprocity in terms of Sri Lankan arbitrators being appointment as well. But I think it's also fair to say that it's good that Sri Lankan arbitrators are appointed as well. They also have the expertise, knowledge of the law, and the relevant skills. So when it comes to arbitrator appointments, reciprocity is extremely important and is a way of putting Sri Lanka on the map, but so is also appointing Sri Lankan arbitrators as well.
Sri Lanka Law College just celebrated its 150 years of existence, but sadly, regrettably, there had not been any focus in studies as to arbitration. But it is a very critical and very important feature of the legal system in Sri Lanka, and we intend to bring that into our curriculum and potentially develop that as one of the major part of our legal studies. In 2026, we intend to bring in a new curriculum, and with the UNDP now we are researching and developing this whole system to be restarted with a new curriculum.
So I'm Chamati Jayawardena. So in my view, I believe that an arbitration lawyer plays a very important role serving their clients with a cost-effective, efficient alternative to litigation. So and also they always have a good collaboration with their clients. So I believe that they serve as strategic advisors, resolving the disputes while advocating their clients' best interests. So also when it comes to preparation, I believe that they should have a very strong foundation, closely analyzing the arbitration agreement, the governing law, and also especially the facts of the disputes. So this will involve a lot of research, collecting all the documents, and also especially they should have the collaboration with the clients. They should make sure that all the evidence is gathered and everything is good to go.
So I'm Shadini Narathata. I think in my point of view, arbitration lawyers help clients to draft clear and enforceable arbitration clauses to contracts to ensure smooth dispute resolution. Familiarity with the updated law on arbitration and practice is essential to prepare for as an arbitration lawyer.
My name is Vidurinda Samaravira. I'm a law student. In my view, an arbitration lawyer is not so different from a lawyer who practices in court. You need to show the same due diligence and need to have the same standard of care for your client when you are being retained. You have to pay special attention to the arbitration clause from which a dispute generally stems and the other clauses surrounding it. In terms of preparation, we need to be thorough with the rules surrounding arbitration because depending on the jurisdiction, the rules may vary when it comes to how an arbitration is supposed to be taken up, who shall be sitting as an arbitrator. You have to be extremely vigilant as an arbitration lawyer that the arbitration clause, the expectations of the arbitration clause is fulfilled and the terms and conditions are met.
To end this episode, we talked to Uditha Devapriya, author of Uplifting Legal Education in Sri Lanka, 150 years, to discover the illustrious history and vibrant presence of the Sri Lanka Law College.
When talking about the history of the Law College, I think we need to keep in mind that it's inextricably linked to the modern history of Sri Lanka as well, particularly colonial society. If we trace the origins of the Law College, we have to go back to 1873. When the Council of Legal Education was founded officially by a group of lawyers and so on and so forth. It was incorporated in the early part of the 20th century, so it's now called the Incorporated Council of Legal Education. The Law College was founded soon after the Council of Legal Education came into being in 1874. But if we look at the Law College as it stands today, until 1911, the Law College was located in a series of makeshift halls up in Dam Street. In 1911, it was relocated to Halsdorf Street, where it stands today. Since then, the Law College has undergone various bouts of reform and renovation. But if we look at the Law College again as it stands today, I think it's safe to say that in terms of architecture, in terms of student numbers, in terms of even the subjects taught, and the general ethos, it's very much the institution that it was back in its heyday. So a lot has changed, but a lot has stayed put. And I think that's the sort of balance which the Law College has strived to balance, strived to maintain throughout the years and decades. And if you look at the Law College now, to me personally, as someone who wrote this book, the author of this book, it's less an education institution and more a monument to the past, and also, I would say, a promise of what the future holds in terms of the legal profession in Sri Lanka. So this is more or less a historical institution as much as an education.